Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? So excited to see you guys. Welcome back to the live. Here I have with me Ranja, who is our interactive engineer. Say hi.
Yeah, hi everyone. Welcome to the live event.
Ranja, how are you feeling today?
Yeah, great. Yeah.
It
Really
is
excited to be here.
Yeah, it is Friday. Thank God it's Friday. And for us here in the US, it's the Labor Day weekend, which means we're gonna have Monday off and it's gonna be a slightly long weekend. So I'm very excited. I have some fun events planned. Maybe I'll tell you guys after I come back. Ranja, are you excited for Friday?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like also for the long weekend. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know. I see a lot of people in the chat today. Hi, guys. Are you guys visiting for the first time? I see some new nicknames. Welcome, guys. I'm so glad you can make it. We're very excited to have you. For those of you who are joining for the first time or haven't seen me before, I am Celine. I'm the community manager for Effect House, and I run the streams. Ranja, can you give yourself a little bit of a self intro?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Hello everyone. My name is Ranja Tian, and I'm an interactive engineer working on our exciting effect house projects. Yeah.
Yay!
And my day-to-day job is actually like creating those like nodes that you see in the visual scripting panel.
Uh huh.
Yeah. Like most of the nodes are, like I created them like, yeah. And yeah.
This
And
is
I
so
have
crazy. Because I come from a creator background, whenever I was using the tool, I was always thinking about like, who's the person who's making all the tool? That was like one of my biggest curiosities. And when I met Ranja for the first time and he told me this, I was like in awe. I kind of felt like I was also meeting a celebrity. So thank you, Ranja, for making all the wonderful new nodes. Recently, with the new updates, we've been getting hundreds of new nodes. How do you have the time? How do you decide the priority? Like, I want to know.
yeah, that's like magic, but yeah. Like Yeah, but I think basically like we get like I think the process is like we gather feedback from like from you all, and yeah, and we have a like ranking of the priorities, and yeah, it's always great to hear more about like how you feel about the tool, and yeah, it
Yeah,
also helps us as well. Yeah.
that's fantastic. I see YIYAAT is in the chat, is throwing a hello sign. Hi guys. I see Mike Black Hat, who's our ambassador and regular. Thank you for joining. I see Marilu says hello. TikTok 79 says hi as well. And Lord, also our regular, says hi with a hands up emoji. Hi guys. So nice to see you in the chat today. Ranja, so I want to know a little bit more about what your job does. I know that you also create templates.
Yeah, yeah. We yeah. I like I also like how creating like some templates because I create those nodes and the templates is what amplifies the functions and like
Mm.
create some like meaningful use cases for the nodes. So we collaborate really closely and yeah. I also have made some nodes myself, the templates myself before. Yeah.
Yeah, and the wobbly face template that we're going to show today was made by you, right?
It's actually the template was made by Kina, but like another like interactive engineer on the team. Yeah, but like it has a lot of like overlap. We have a lot of back and forth discussions about the nodes and how we can like make the templates more easy to use and understand. And yeah, so
Mm.
I'm deeply like involved in this process of creating this template as well. Yeah.
So it's really like a very collaborative process.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And I heard that this includes one of your favorite nodes, which is the face stretch node. Is that
Yeah,
true?
for sure. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely my favorite node. Like, yeah, so far. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think I've seen a lot of projects that use the face stretch node. So I was talking with Ranja, and he's like, I have to go on live and teach people about the face stretch node so you guys can create a lot of fun wobbly face randomizers. So he's here with us today. So thank you for joining, Ranja. If you guys have any questions for him, put them in the chat right now so we can ask him at the end of the episode, and he'll be able to answer them for you. So in every episode, we always try to determine node of the day. I'm gonna have to ask you what your favorite node is. Is it the face stretch node?
Uh, I would say like, like my actual answer would always be the next node, but I think so far
Uh
it's definitely the fifth stretch. Yeah,
huh.
yeah,
Oh, the next node that you're working on.
yeah. Like
That's so
like
funny. I agree. But so
the real
far,
answer.
it's face stretch.
Yeah.
That's great. I think in a couple weeks ago when we had Kasai and Game Plus 40 and Projo and Jonathan, they were like gaming effect creators. So they said things like do once or peak or
Mm.
transit by time and those stuff. And I've never heard of someone say the face stretch node. So I'm very eager to learn and to see how you can create a wonderful project with it. Okay, I think there is a lot of beginners in the chat. Do you have any word of advice?
Yeah, I think my word of advice, since I previously I was came from a design background as well, and I
Mm,
actually learned like scripting through visual scripting like gradually. And yeah, I think my advice is like just get your hands dirty and try as much as you can. And yeah, that's how I feel like I learned the most from from the process. Yeah,
yeah, that's exactly what our Korean ambassador Yoon Jung said when he came
really.
out. He said the most important thing is just doing it. When you have an idea, open Effect House, just practicing opening it and playing around with it because that's how you improve. That's how you learn by experimenting with the tool. And I've been seeing this same advice come from a lot of creators. I would consider this a bible at this point. Try it out, you guys. Okay. One last question before we get to the tutorial. You're quite a bit of a fashionista, and you're known in the LA office to have like cool outfits and fashion and tech gear. Would Can you explain your style and maybe where do you shop?
Yeah, yeah, that's a really like a good question. I can talk like literally like days about all this like
Days about fashion?
exciting topic. Yeah, but I think my personal favorite like since I do like outdoor activities from time to time, so I'm generally like interested in the like outdoor range of like clothing. Yeah, and yeah, my favorite like designer so far is it's like a new grad from Central St. Martin's. Yeah, that he deals a lot of like convertible clothes all the time, and yeah, and I also there's a lot of like interesting buyer shops in LA, and yeah, I went to these places like a lot, and it's actually not just for shopping, but like being there and see how they curate all
Yeah,
the
that's true.
pieces together is
Uh-huh.
really it's really fun. Yeah.
Ranja has this really awesome hat that I really first time when I saw it, I was like, whoa, I didn't even know they make things like this. It's like a beanie ish, but in the front it has like like when pilots
Oh
they
yeah,
have their little glasses and it's
you
folded up
mean
like this.
this one?
Yay, yes. Right.
Yeah.
But the glasses are in reverse. So when you put it down like this, it actually looks like you're wearing the pilot's glasses. So it is
Yeah,
very
yeah,
funny.
yeah. It's a very fun. It's a very fun beanie. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to know in the chat, is anybody like interested in tech gear or like technical outfit? If you are, please leave it in the comments. Or if you have a totally different style, like, oh, I like to go for like the coquette, cute, um, flower, farm girl aesthetic, or I'm like, oh no, I'm a chic city girl aesthetic. Please let me know what you try to aim for. I feel like my fashion is mumbo jumbo. I have a little bit of everything, but I personally feel like I love colors. So I my motto is never wear black, which is so funny because a lot of my friends only wear black. And when I'm with them, people are like, Celine, did you steal all their colors? And I think it's the funniest thing ever. Oh, wow. The TikTok live chat is very excited for Ranja's clothing advice because we already hit our live goal. That's insane, guys. Yay, TikTok live. Congratulations. Okay. Our chat is calling, we call Celine's aesthetic rainbow core. So as my background shows, and I added these cute little cat neon lights. Have you guys seen this? I want to show off. Look, it's like a cat standing and this is a cat sitting. But yes, without further ado, Ranja, take us away to your awesome tutorial.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. I think I can just start the like the tutorial part.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh,
yeah. Oh.
the project file that Ranja is using is linked in our Discord channel, but I'll also put the link in the comments in the YouTube comment section as well. So if you're interested in downloading and following along, or even after you're rewatching this live, hello rewatch crowd, you can find it in our description. So go check it out so you can follow along. Okay, Ranja.
Yeah. And yeah. So yeah, Horan. Today we are going to talk about like my favorite visual scripting nodes, but also one of the like most interesting like capabilities I think in House is a face stretch. I think before we do the tutorial, I think we can probably do like the do not laugh challenge, and like and yeah, and see if you can like yeah, see if you can like not trigger the effect. You can open the project file, and if you use the preview video, then you can see that yeah, you can see the entire project here, uh, and yeah. Be sure to like enable your the wobbly face face stretch entity, And yeah, like, and then try
Try
not
not
to
to
laugh,
laugh, everyone. Don't laugh.
because once you laugh, you're gonna see that your face start to get wobbly like this. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Just like a like a warm up. And yeah. So this is one of our like templates for X5 house, and it's using the face stretch node to control the face stretch points, like in the face stretch components, and then that what deforms like all the like the rendering of your face in the screen space. Yeah, and today like my sharing gonna be like divided into five parts. So the first part is as you can see here is like the basic introduction of the face stretch nodes, and also the face stretch components, and also like yeah, and also some basic tips for how to start this face stretch projects, and also some like, and then we're gonna go depth into the nodes and take a look into like how to create the simplest like face stretch effects by creating like a sine wave effect on your eyebrow. Yeah, this part I intentionally left it blank so that you can follow it and do it in real time, and then we're gonna send the project afterwards so they can compare both. Um, and yeah, and after that we're gonna break down of how the previous step technique can be applied to creating the wobbly face effects. And at the end we have a stretch goal to recreate the face stretch interaction that you see when, if you add the interaction button here, then you have the option to to select the tap screen to stretch the face effects. So like each time you get a different like stretch effect from this, yeah, from this subgraph. Yeah. I'm not sure whether we have enough time to go through like the last part, but I will leave this as a definitely as a challenge, and I'll like talk about the high level structure of how this subgraph is made from these nodes. Yeah. So let's jump into the meat of the today's sharing. Yeah.
Wait, Ranja, is it true that all of the face stretches are randomized, so you don't have to like assign points?
Uh, no, like you mean the last one? No, no, it's not necessarily not random. It's just like we designed them to be random so that it's more fun and uncertain. But
Oh,
yeah, but you can definitely like control specific points.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I know that a lot of people are creating a similar like face stretch effect, but they're artificially stretching it and assigning all of those points. But for this tutorial, because we're using the face stretch node, you can technically randomize all of the points so that you don't even know how it's gonna stretch. And I think that's one benefit of using the node instead of like the stretch function that you can see. Like you see on Raj's screen how there are like points in the face. You can drag them and pull them and stretch them. But if you do it with the node, you can assign different visual scripting aspects like the randomize, or you can do something else. And I feel like that is just extra super, super fun.
Yeah, I have to admit that this node is probably like more challenging than other nodes because of the structure it is set up. But it definitely gives you like another layer of control over like what type of face stretch effect you can create with this one. Yeah. Um, yeah. So I think I think like if you haven't used face stretch before, like you should definitely try it in Fat House. It's one of my favorite effects in the Fat House because it's so fun and have a lot of like possibilities so to customize the effects of using the component. And the entrance of the face effect is actually pretty straightforward. You can just use it by uh, add objects and using inside one of the face effect panels. And here we go, the face stretch. Yeah. You can add many face stretches like into the scene. Yeah, and as Celine said before, like our face stretch nodes, like you can drag those control points in the screen space, and they form a particular fixed face stretch effects. Yeah, but this one doesn't provide you a lot of like capabilities to customize and modify the points in real time. So that's when our nodes came into usage. Yeah. Um, and for the how the face stretch is rendered, yeah, I could just briefly go through it. It's like it's calculating like a projection matrix from the original like face stretch points to the points like after you deform after you deform them in the screen space. Yeah, so and then it renders the deformed version of your face stretch based on the transformation matrix. Yeah, so like in a word, it is those key points that you drag or you like move around that determines the stretch. So it's always the point that are important. So first of all, yeah, and to see a reference of like or which like each point is actually has its own index, and I think probably like this was not like a very you know uh, like a used a lot case before, because like if you're just dragging the point in the screen space, then you don't need to worry about like which point it is. But actually behind the scene, those points are actually ordered, and if you click this tiny little smell button up here in the face stretch component controller, then you can see that each of our face stretch point actually has its own index. Yeah, let me just undock the graph to take a closer look into the face stretch points. So we have a total of like 96 different control points from index 0 all the way to index 95. Yeah, and those are the points that we use to, as a reference in the face stretch like node. So whenever you want to create a particular node, you want to first probably check, oh, what's the index of this particular stretch points in the face stretch components, and then you can use this indexing feature to control the position of that particular node in the screen space. Yeah. Uh, yeah, so that's the like about the basics of the index numbering of our face stretch key points. And I personally I actually found that is it take me a while to like open this page and check back and forth again. So I have a tiny bit of like advice to make your life easier to see the index of this point is that you can first undock your graph and then you can take a screenshot of all the like 96 points, and then you import them as an asset into your effect house projects. And another trick that you can and then you can put them under a 2D camera in the scene so that like they will appear here. Yeah. But if you just add it directly to the 2D camera, like as you can see here, it will show you the just the image, and it will cover your like regular camera feed. And to avoid this, you can create a render texture from the assets panel right here. You can click render texture, add assets, and create a render texture, and then render the final output. Sorry, render the camera to this particular render texture, so that now you don't have a blocker in your preview, but also you have this like 3D image here showing you the key points of your face. And I do
Wow.
this all the time. Like, yeah, it makes my life much easier, and like I don't need to check back and forth for, oh,
Yeah.
this is this point, this is that
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
Ranja, this is a mega tip. And people in the chat, Brett is saying, oh my gosh, Ranja, I didn't even know about this map. This is why we come to lives for all these little hacks. So I think people love this.
Yeah, I think this is like the key point. This is the must know knowledge to use this node. Otherwise, the indexes are actually, yeah, they are all the node index we output are like correspondent to this map in particular.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, um, yeah, and that's the basic knowledge of the face stretch key points. And I think then after having this knowledge, we can jump into the nodes themselves. Yeah, so the preset of the nodes assume that we have these like 96 like stretch points at the beginning of your effects, and then you can deform these points based on yeah, based on like whatever you select. And yeah, but like one thing, like a limitation of the tool is that you always uh, you will always need to assign the like entire array back to the face stretch nodes. So like for example, if you're modifying like one of the nodes, you may still want to assign all the face stretch nodes back into the face stretch components, so that's how we correspondent the node, the deform node to its original position. Yeah, so this is another like key facts about this particular node. Yeah, and we can use this one as an example. Like for example, this is like just I'll reset everything here. Um, yeah, and let's pin the face stretch node to the graph so that you can see what's happening, what our node is outputting. Yeah. Um, so we have three nodes that we designed to manipulate the face stretch key points. So the first one is the face stretch info that tells you what is the status of the current face stretch component. The second node, which is the core, is the face stretch node. That one is actually what let you modify those nodes in runtime. Um, like yeah, and another helper that helps you to modify the key points is the set array atom node. So this set array atom node, it changes changes the key points in the key point array and output the a new array after the change of the key points, and then you can set that array back to the face stretch node. Yeah, that's how like the typical workflow for this one works. Yeah. um, and let's take this default image of face stretch as an example. um, as you can see here, if you pin the face stretch node to the graph and then you connect it to the face stretch info, uh, and then you can get the information of the phase stretch. Basically, you can get the default information like which phase or intensity from the tool, but you can also get more important information for those key points. Yeah. For example, we have 4 point array for you to uh, for you to use. The name could be like it looks similar, but they're all very different. So the first 2 key point array is like the sample points in this particular screen space, and this screen space is normalized to the 720 and 180, which is the size of this particular image we use as a template. Um, yeah, and but that template position is normalized to 0 and 1, so you don't need to worry about the actual screen size of the render texture. Yeah, so these point array will always will always be their position in the screen space. But what if I want to preview where the actual deformed point is on your that follows your face movement? Then we need those points called stretched view key points or initial view key points. Those points are the points that gets projected to your face movement, and it moves along with your face in the real time. Yeah. I think most of the time, if you're creating a face stretch effects, like let's say by manipulating the points in the template space, you can just use the stretch sample key points and initial sample key points as a reference. Yeah. Um, and also like because the set face stretch node is using the stretch sample key point, so you may also wanted to notice that it's a good practice to only modify the sample key point and set them back, not modify the viewed key points and set them to the face stretch components. Yeah, otherwise it will be like you will see that the screen coordinate will not match. Yeah. And yeah, apart from the key point logic, we also have another logic called edited key point index. So this is pretty similar to the concept of lock inside the face stretch components. So as you see here, like in this face stretch, like these indexes are locked. I think they are number 3, number 4, number 9. Um, yeah, and this one should be number 20, 25 and number 26. Uh, and then we have 55, 50, 55, 56, 71, 72. Yeah, and yeah, that's all the key points that are marked as blue, or the key points that are get modified currently in this phase stretch component. Yeah. So this array output is what helps you to to see, oh, these are the points that are modified in this current phase stretch components. Yeah, and I think this is helpful to for you to actually like debug and see those points in the real time. Yeah. uh, and we can also and if you take a look into the array, the length of the input and output array, you can see that there is a key difference um, between the viewpoint and the sample points. Is that the viewpoint array will always be an array. Sorry, the sample point array will always be an array that has a length of 96. So, and then 96 is these 96 points on this phase stretch default like sample map. And the viewed points array is the array uh, like of the points whose position are modified already. Yeah. So if you want to preview the array, the real time position of the modified points in the 3D space, then you want to use the stretched view key points array and use the index from this edited key string index to see whether where that point is. Yeah. I know this might be a little bit difficult to understand, but that's how this is the key difference. And most of the time, you don't even need to worry about the viewpoints. It's only helpful if you want to uh, debug this, or you see the points, the control points on your face in real time. Yeah, I'll show you how that works later, very soon. Yeah, and most of the time, you just need to use the sample key points. Like in the same way as we control our phase stretch component. Yeah. And to create a really a really simple phase like set phase stretch effect, we can just, for example, we can get the stretch sample key points, which is the key points after you already perform the stretch, and do a set array item reference to whichever point you want to modify. So let's say, for example, I want to modify the point 4 inside this inside this template, and for example, I want to move it up and down, and to create some like sine wave effects. Then we can just modify use change the index of this set array item to number 4, and connect it to the set phase stretch component, and connect your phase stretch component, and also the default stuff. You can also change the intensity using transit by time, but that's also doable with the pin as well. Yeah. So let's say we can give a trigger to this set array item reference, and yeah, and then we can start to modify the value of these points in real time to see what's the effects of this looks like. Yeah. You may also want to connect the output of the set array item reference node back to the set phase stretch node, so that it can came in effects. Yeah. So as you see now, after I connect this one back to the set phase stretch, it's actually like morphing my face according to the position of these points. Yeah. Let's say, for example, I just change it to 0, then it will look like this. And it can also be like what I usually do is that I usually use 2 random nodes to create a random like position for those points, and that's how you see the wobbly face effects. Like it's generating the random position of a particular or multiple particular control points. Yeah. Let's say we can combine the 2 randoms together and use that to set this set array reference. So you can see that the number 4 point, is randomized in real time in your screen space. Yeah, that's how we create a very basic like set face stretch node effect. Yeah, and but this is probably just too randomized. So like I think a good practice for editing the position of this particular like sorry, to edit the position is to add a random number to the original position instead of like assigning a random number to the position. Yeah. So that makes your changes looks like it's not so abrupt like what I did before. Like it's here and there all the time, but it's based on your previous position. So to do that, you just need to create a get atom from array from the face stretch info, and also using the stretched key points and get the same index from the uh, from the the 96 point array. We can take a look how that feels if we do the previous, just randomly assign a key points to this set array reference. Yes, you can see this point is changing very drastically in real time, and yeah, it's not controlled at all. Yeah. Um, so what I typically suggest for creating a more effective or more or less valid like a phase morphing effect is to add this value to this randomizer, and you can also do a multiplier. Uh, yeah, like for example, multiply that by like 0.5 and 0.5, and then it kind of like lessen the effects of the randomizer. Um, yeah, and after doing this, you set this value instead of the random value to the phase stretch point. So it looks like, it looks more of like a randomized effects. Yeah. Um, yeah, but as you can see here, like um, is still like the effect didn't last a long time because the point after you adding that to the after adding the position to the point, it just goes all the way up. So to make it more like lasting, to make the morph effect lasting a long time, you can actually like instead of adding this value is which is always like a positive value that will morph your that will drag your points all the way up beyond the screen space. You can you can modify that by adding a sign, like adding a sign function to this. Oops, you can add a sign function to this to this the xy position of this point so that it can achieve a certain, like it can be moved in the local space around your or around its original position. Yeah. Um, so
Uh,
to
can we, Ranja, who is our technical product manager, is in our TikTok live. Say hi to Ranja, everyone. And he just shared a mega tip. He said, when you have a face stretch component, click, there's a button called add interactions, and there's already a pre-built-in group called stretch random face under the add interaction button. So you can use this option, or you can also use the add interaction as well. Thank you for sharing that tip, Runza. Everybody give him a hello emoji, give him a high five emoji. Thank you for joining the live, Runza. Also, I wanted to tell you that, Ranja, the chat
yep.
is popping off right now. So many people are saying this tutorial is so good. Delton Child says, I'm new to Effect House, but coming from a programming background, you're speaking my language. Your explanations are very clear and elegant. And a lot of people are saying that they haven't tried the wobbly face template before, but they plan to do so in the future because all of the things that you're saying is super interesting. And we did a little poll while you were doing the tutorial. I asked people, have you tried the wobbly face template before? And 83% of people said no. And a lot of them are now saying, hey, I'm going to go try out this template. So I am very excited. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you, Haley Cat Paws, for sending a little high five emoji. I bet Runza is very happy. Runza is saying yay. So I I think he's very good. Thank you, Ranja. Continue with the tutorial. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Um, yeah. So just now, I think we're gonna go through the interaction part in the end. But just briefly about the how you use all these previous technique combined to create that one. Yeah. Um, yeah. So first of all, like we just now introduced how to assign random position to the control point so that it's just randomly popping up in the screen space. But to make it more controlled, my advice is to add like a value to the original key points instead of like just assigning a random value to that. To do that, like you can use a to do that you can use a assign function that's inputting like a time, and then it outputs a range of value from all the way from -1 to 1, so that you can so that the position of the points is like a continuous change through time. Yeah. um, so to do this, we can first create a like a tiny little like a subgraph that lets you output whatever the xy value that changes in a range from the sine wave. Yeah. So to do this, you can first use the guide time from our node system, and this one gets you the the total like time starting like from the effects from the starting of the effects. Yeah, as you can see here, it's increasing linearly. And if we plug this one to the sine node, then you can see that the value of the output value from the sine node is actually like doing this sine wave pattern, and it's going up and down, and yeah, it's outputting a value from -1 all the way to 1. So in this way, you can achieve the effect to move your points in the local space of its original position by combining two like sine wave of like value of the time that has passed from the beginning of the effect. Yeah. Um, so to do that, like I just I can you can actually just assign the sine value to the to combine it as a XY array. Um, and then instead of adding the random value to your like phase stretch key point, add this sine value to the phase stretch key point, and it will output. As you can see here, it's popping like up and down all the way through time. Yeah, you can also change the speed of the sine wave deformation by multiplying the time in delta, or by multiplying the speed of the sine wave. Um, yeah, like for example, we multiply the time by a certain factor so that you can speed it up or make it slower. So, for example, if we make it like 5 times the delta time, you can see that here the point is morphing really faster than before, and you can also multiply that by 0.5 to make the point deformation like more gentle and gradual in this space. Yeah. So yeah, that's the basic introduction for our phase stretch key points, like how you can create the simplest sine wave effect from modifying just one single key point in the phase stretch. Yeah. And there are some other other like fine effects you can create. For example, you can like also use the transit by time node to control the intensity of the generation, or you can also use transit by time to achieve the similar like moving effects of the points. Yeah. um, let's say for example, we can like use the transit by time instead of the update to change the intensity from 0 to, let's say, 100, which is the maximum value from the phase stretch, and give it a duration of 3 seconds. And then, as you can see, not only you can modify the position of the points in real time, the intensity of the set phase stretch can also be modified in the same time. And you can what's better than the pin of the intensity that you can like using this approach, you can wrap all of these into a subgraph that you can reuse in other projects. Yeah. Um, yeah, so that's basically like the how we use the simplest functions of the set phase stretch. Yeah. There are also some like more advanced controller like such as the symmetric and locked index. I'm gonna go more deep depths into that in the later part of the tutorial. Yeah, but briefly, the set symmetric is the similar as the symmetric button in the tool, so that it allows you to control the key point as long as it's symmetric point in the 96 sample space. Yeah. So for example, if you're modifying like key point number 4, as we said before, which is this point, and if you have the symmetric clicked on, then if you pick into the edited key point, you can see that point 3 has also been modified. Yeah. This allows you to create the symmetric phase morph effects all the time if you follow this pattern. Yeah. But let's say if you don't like have the symmetric option on, and for example, if you change another point like number point 16, and we disable the symmetric points, then you can see that there's a did you see the tiny little dot that flies away? Oh yeah, that's the number point 16 that is getting more of the through time. And you can see its symmetric points number 17 is not in this index list, which means that it's not included in the phase morph and will not impact the stretch. Yeah, that's how you use you can use the symmetric option to control whether you want a symmetric phase stretch or you just want an asymmetric phase stretch, which I think in the wobbly phase case, we actually use the asymmetric a lot because we don't want the points to move into the same direction all the time. Yeah. And yeah, this is like another setting that you can modify to control the effects of your phase stretch. Yeah. And last but not least is the locked indices. The locked indices is that you can assign arbitrary like indices of your points to whether to be locked or not. It's the same. It has a similar effect as this lock option in the tool. If you can you see my mouse in the screen? Um, it might be a little bit tiny, but it's actually this one. This if you click on this lock, then you can see that all the points are locked here. But you can also unlock some of the key points by manually like unclicking them to make them like the original display. So this lock is the same as those blue points here in this phase stretch template. So if you let's say if you want to like if you the original lock index are those 10 points by default, and if you add another point, then those 2 points will be assigned to your locked index array, locked index string, and then you can like use these points as the locked points in the phase stretch templates. Yeah, and this one takes in string input. For example, if we only want to let's say modify like this array, like then you like let's say we just want to keep the original like index array here, then you can input let me just click some of them so that it's like so that it has less points here and it's asymmetric. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's say you only want to modify this one, then you can just put in this like array separated by the comma to control the which key points you want to modify here. Yeah, and inside this node, we're gonna parse the exact index that you specify in through this node to determine like which point move and which point doesn't move. Yeah. Yeah, so that's basically all the components of the set phase stretch node and the phase stretch info node. Yeah. uh, I know this is probably like a lot of contents, um, but I think the key takeaway is always remember that there are 96 points here in the templates, and you can modify those 96 points by using this uh, set array atom reference node. And yeah, that's the basic takeaway for this part. Yeah. Uh, yeah, and then I'm gonna go through a small tip of how you can use the viewpoint, like set face stretch points. Sorry, you can use the viewpoint nodes, viewpoint points to preview the debug points on your face. Yeah, this works for the case where if you want to have if you want to have, let's say, if you have a point in your face and you want to drag it in the screen space and see the deformation in real time, then this technique could be more helpful. Yeah. Um, let's say we have this face stretch. Let's say we create another face stretch like component here, and yeah, as you can see, it's doing the deformation as well. And what if I want to see where this particular blue point, the point, um, this one, I think is point number 8. Yeah. What if I want to see where is my point number 8 in real time in screen space? Then that's when you start to use the stretched view key points array node to do that. Yeah. Um, the like we first get the face stretch like apart from directly pinning the face stretch component, you can also get the face stretch component using our get component by type node, and you drag the face stretch node, sorry, drag the face stretch entity into our graph, and then plug it into a get component by type node, and then you can select the type of the component that's related to face stretch, and give it a trigger. For example, we can just get it once at the on start to save to optimize the performance, and then you can also get the same face info from the like as we what we did previously to pin this face stretch node into the graph. What's good about this approach is that you can modularize all the subsequent nodes into a subgraph that you can put into other projects, because like you can just plug in whatever scene objects you want to use in that effect, and that scene object, as long as that scene object contains the face stretch component, this subgraph can work. Yeah. Yeah. Let's say I want to preview my point number 7 or point number 8. Oh, point number 8 inside the screen space. Um, I could like see what's the stretch view key points like array in real time and get my point from this array. But one thing important to notify is that um, the index of this point inside this set stretched key points array is not the same as its original index in the 96 point template space. To get the real index of these point numbers 8, you're gonna see what the added point index point string looks like, and calculate the index of that point inside this array. So for example, my number 7 point is number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8. Oh, sorry, you start from 0. Again, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Then you use the index 9 to get the real-time position of these points. Yeah. And let's say we can see, oh, this is the actual position of this point inside the screen space. And if you drag this point, then the position of this point is gonna change as well. Yeah. And how do we preview this point inside the screen space? You can do that by adding a 2D scene, by adding like a tiny little marker to that point. Let's say let's first create a screen image that you want to use to track that particular point. Let's first duplicate the 2D screen setup, and let's rename it to the debug point. Yeah, and change our camera render texture back to the final render output so that you can see the where our debug point is. Yeah, uh, and and then you're gonna want to I created an RT inside the Photoshop, and you can see this debug point texture here in the project folder. And then if you select this one, it will show you the debug points marker in the screen space. But debug point marker is now the full screen status, and you may want to rescale it a little bit, like giving it like a 0.1, 0.1, for example. And then we can set the position of this point to display what this control point is in your that looks in the real time in the 3D space. We assign a update to this set position pin, and then we connect the position of this point to the pin. Yeah. Um, but give me a second. But what happened? Why does it not show up? Does anyone know why this is the case? It is because our image space our image position is calculated in the screen in the pixel space, which is from 0 to 700 in the width and 0 to 180 in the height. But these phase stretch key points position is output in the normalized space, which means that it's in the 0 to 1 space, in the same space as you see in the touch. So now we're gonna want to transfer this position to the correct image position. And to do this, you just like first you subtract the points by 0.5, 0.5, because it's always with respect to the center of the screen. And then you multiply this by the screen resolution, which you can get from the effect resolution info node. Yeah, the effect resolution info node outputs the height and the width of the render texture of your camera in real time, and you can combine them together into a multiply vector. Yeah, and multiply that into the real time screen space of this one. Yeah, and after doing this, then you can see that the position of this particular morph point inside the screen space. Yeah. So that's how we use the debug points to create the real time preview of the debug points in the screen space. Yeah.
Very good job. I think that was super helpful. We have a lot of funny comments in our chat that made me laugh. Brett says, I don't want to brag, but my face is naturally pretty wobbly. Hashtag no filter. And I thought that was very, very funny. Other people are giving like a hand shout out and a 5 emoji. So I think you did a great job. And Haley Catpaws is saying this tutorial is making me want to work with the wobbly face template right now. So great job.
Yeah, I think that's thanks everyone. I think that's like the basic setup of your face stretch effects, like templates and the basic knowledge of the face stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and using like our previous knowledge, we already can create the wobbly face templates. So if you zoom into the wobbly face template, you can see that it's nothing special but using the face stretch info nodes and get atom and three set atom like node to change the 3 points in your face and assign a random offset to these points in the screen space, and then set it back to the set face stretch node. It's nothing more special than what we showed before, like the sine wave function case. As you can see, it's always following the pattern. You get the face stretch array from the face stretch info nodes, especially the sample key point or the initial stretch key points, and then you apply an offset to each of the points. I did the sine wave, but this time, um, but for the face for the wobbly face templates, it's actually doing a random, and yeah, that's why you see that it's popping here and there all the time. And then you set it to the array and set it to the array again and set it to the array again. Each time you do this, like repetitive, like pattern to randomize stretch your face. Yeah, and eventually you get the final array. You set the final array back to your set face stretch, and keep the locked index the same as the points that you set in this sorry, you keep the same index as the locked item on this face rect template, and then you can get the wobbly face effects like as expected. Yeah, and apart from this set part, what the trigger of the face stretch like wobbly face templates is using the like face avatar results to detect whether it has a mouse open. Yeah, like as you can see here, it has the jaw open blend shape, and it's checking whether the blend shape value. Oh, it's actually using the blend shape value to change the intensity. So this is like a intriguing small detail for this one. Like if you open your mouse very small, then the random is small. But if you open your mouse really big, then you can see the randomize is also it's also crazier. So yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wait, I didn't know that. I tried the wobbly face template, but I thought it was just activated via opening your mouth. But I didn't know how, depending on how big you open your mouth, it also is more super dynamic.
Yeah, you can actually, I think it's probably like you can actually make it more exaggerated. Like for example, you multiply by
What?
75, then
Uh-huh.
it will be more obvious. Like you can see the intensity ranges from 30
No
all the way to
way.
almost
No
like
way.
100. Yeah.
Your face is exploding from your body, I feel like.
Yeah, that's actually another advice that I would give to everyone is that you may want to set a cap to the point that you set back to the array to not go beyond the value the range of 0 to 1, which is the screen position of its template screen sweep position. Otherwise, you will see something like the
It will go
like
out of the screen.
yeah, it will go out of the screen, and that is not what something is unless you particularly want that. But uh, yeah, it's probably like sometimes if it goes too far, then you will not see the control points at all. Like yeah, as you can see here, is it is going like way beyond
What
the screen.
what the heck is
And
happening? Oh my gosh.
yeah, this is like it's going already too far away from the
Yeah.
screen state that you can see it. So my advice for this piece is that always restrict the offset to like a certain range. Like for example here, like our like template creator Kina, she made a multiplier to this offset so that it can always be restricted to the offset range of 0.5, that it doesn't exceed the the screen's position too much. Yeah, I think that's an important thing to keep in mind. That don't let your point go all the way too far beyond the screen. Yeah,
That's a good last tip.
yeah.
I have some questions for you before we end the live, but what is your favorite effect slash project that you built?
My personal favorite project.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's actually I built a like a cat effects for the rabbit ear.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's for yeah that's like a rabbit ear for my cat. Uh,
Oh,
yeah.
yes. Ranja has a very, very cute cat. And then he made this effect that makes like the ear of the cat kind of long and like a rabbit ish. And he likes that effect very much. Is the cat
Yeah,
near you?
yeah, he's just here. Yeah, say hi to the audience.
Cat,
His
cat
name is
alert. Everybody put a cat emoji in the stream. Oh my gosh.
yeah,
Oh,
his name is
so cute.
Pandas. Yeah,
Their
say
name
hi
is
to everyone
Panda.
from
Oh,
Pandas. Yeah,
That is so nice. I 100% get why you named the cat Panda because I was thinking it, and the first thought was cow, and the second thought was panda, and it's like a black and white cat that's so adorable. My cats are all like tabby, so they're like very grayish with stripes and stuff. But it's so all cat is beautiful. I love panda. I love how they look. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
Uh okay. Is there anyone that you admire in the Effect House community or anyone that you are specifically looking into at the moment?
Uh, yeah, I really like all the effect that like our community creates, and I feel like everyone's work is so different and like has their own unique like perspective towards creating, and a lot of them actually surprise me all the time. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
personally, recently I've been looking into effects that's been posted by Brett, who's also in the live today. He's been creating some fantastic effects. The most recent effect, I think Hellfire, has really good rendering. It looks super professional. So if anybody hasn't been already, go check it out. He's also an ambassador, and I like another one of his effects that's named Dance Like Bill. And you know, like that famous meme couple weeks ago or months ago where like the guy's like dancing like this? Well, it's an effect version of that. So if you haven't already, go check it out. Okay, Ranja, can you give us a sneak peek on what you're working on at the moment or any or your personal effect templates? I don't know.
Yeah, I also like we are having like a lot of like exciting features coming in the like future versions as well. I'm personally like experimenting with material graph recently because I'm very excited for the launch of material graph, and
Ooh,
yeah, yeah, trying to like create like a like lot of like fun like material effects, because now we also open the capability to apply a material to a 2D image. That's
yeah,
actually like something that's really really excites me, that yeah, that you can combine both the image effect together with the material. It's almost like a custom post processing stuff, or yeah.
that's true. You can do a lot of things by combining a 2D image with a material. Do you have any that pops into the top of your mind, Ranja?
Uh, I think the slit scan is something that's using that similar technique, right? The line scan, the that really like popular slit scan effects. That yeah, yeah,
That's true. And we've recently released so many new templates, guys. There are people like Ranja and us working hard every day to provide you with like really awesome subgraphs and really awesome templates. So definitely go check those out if you haven't already. August's microjam project, the side scroll project, is now a template. It's called Side Scroll Jelly Game. And if you tap on it, a jellyfish swims up. If you go down, the jellyfish goes down. That's really fun. Melody, who was on our previous stream explaining how the rainbow dance template and all of the cool templates, she released a new template called Water Blaster where you can point at a seed and water them and then it will blossom into a flower. August recently released a new template called Slash Match, so you can connect like related themes like monkey to a banana, bunny to a carrot, and it is super fun, so definitely go try that out. And we have a lot of new challenges. I think the recent one is the Unleash Your Imagination, and you can win up to $2,500 as a cash prize. And it's a gaming themed competition. So track one is for mini games, so you can use all of the new templates, all of the new gaming templates that we released to submit to that challenge as well. So definitely go check those out. And lastly, we are out of beta. We exited beta. Yay!
hey,
I don't know if you guys have seen before, but before on the Effect House website, if you go to it, in very small letters, it would say Effect House Beta. But now we've officially exited beta and we have publicly launched. If you are following a couple of our ambassadors on social media or on TikTok, you might have seen that they posted like official beta tester on their profiles as well. So, it is very exciting for us, a chance to recap everything we've done over the years. We have some exciting events planned as well, so keep an eye out for that. But I think that's the end of the live today. Ranja, any final words?
Yeah, yeah. I think that's basically like all the like contents of the tutorial. And still, I think personally, I think personally, like I really like visual scripting since I was a designer before, and I use visual scripting to do the modeling all the time. And then I gradually pick up scripting, and I think that really helps me like the to understand the logics of scripting. Yeah, as we talked about in the beginning of the series, I think my word of advice is probably like just go and get your hands dirty and do something, and then that's yeah, definitely like yeah,
Just do
you can
it.
make a great program. Just do it.
Yeah. Brett is saying, Ranja, I'm literally going through the material graph tutorials right now. I paused to join your live. So you guys are connected where everybody's learning material graph. That's fantastic. Haley Tapaz says, I remember when the Effect House site said coming soon in 2021. Oh, looking back on
Oh,
those days, the time flies by fast. But Haley, thank you so much for being with us this entire journey. You're a wonderful member of our community. Thank you for always attending the lives and answering stuff on Discord. We respect you so much. Thank you. Do a little clap. So thank you everyone for joining the live. I hope you have a great rest of your day. For those who are in the US, happy Labor Day and long weekend. I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Bye guys.
yeah.
Bye
Hi
Ranja.
everyone. Happy long weekend.